Good morning and welcome to Copenhagen. This is early morning in Copenhagen, and I'm gonna go through the startup of the 737, and we're gonna fly over to Stockholm, Sweden. I'm gonna show you the plan. We're gonna fly from, gonna go out kind of southwest, and then we're gonna go up and turn, and then go up into Sweden, and we're gonna land at the Stockholm Arlanda airport. So that's today's plan. We see some light weather here as we come up into Sweden over Skåne, but I think it's gonna be a smooth flight. And as you see, the airport here looks great. This is an airport mod actually that I just acquired. Pan around here a little bit. See, it looks great. We flying the PMDG version of the 737. Kind of loads automatically with the stairs. You see, it looks pretty cool with the lights there. So we just pretend that they have something wrong with the so that we have to use the stairs, and we're departing from B19. So let's see if we can get inside and start this thing. I'm using a startup procedure from FilbertFlies. I'm gonna provide a link to that one. So we are inside the aircraft. What we are doing first is that we are gonna go up here on the overhead panel, and we're gonna turn on the batteries. They are up here. Batteries are on. The next thing we're gonna do is to arm the emergency lights. Do that by flipping down that guard. We're going to establish ground power. So we're going to go into the menu here where we request the ground power. So the ground power is now going to connect. Going to see that on the outside. There's that little cart there. So you see it has a little cord there. So we should see on the overhead panel here that we have ground power available. So let's turn that one on. Flip that down. So the that provides the DC power. All right, and now we're gonna go through a couple of checks. So going down here again, we're gonna check that the flaps are up. They are up. We're gonna check. We're gonna do a fire test. I'm gonna flick that to the left, so we're gonna see two lights. And flick that one to the right. We're gonna hear a ring, and those handles are lighting up. Then we're gonna test the squibs, as they are called. We're gonna see that they are lighting up. And that's all works. Then we are gonna do the manual gear extension, and that's a little, see if you can pan that over here. That's this little guy here. That one is in order, flaps down. So that's if that's manual gear. If you can't get the gear down with the hydraulics, you can pull the levers there to get that done. We're going to check the circuit breakers. So if they are out, you would see a little white color on them. These looks okay. Turn on the other side. Swing around that way. and we see that all of these circuit breakers looks okay. We're gonna check for the emergency escape rope. It's up there, and that is stowed, so that is good. We're gonna check the flight recorder. Yeah, so we pull that off, and if the light goes off, it's working. Let's see what else. A Mac airspeed warning test. We do that over here. Get a little clicking sound. And then we do this one. Stall warning. Navigation antennas. Lighting them up. There we go. And then go into the align mode. Go down here and check the light. So this turn on all the lights. Let's make sure everything is on. That should be on. That's that test. Next test is the oxygen test. Here we go, down here. What you do, you press that little thing there, and you get a little cross, and that shows you that everything is okay. All right, so that's the test situation. So now we're gonna start to work in our MCDU and do the setup there. We're gonna start to set the fuel. So I'm gonna get up the load sheet. So this is an artifact of our fuel planning. So here we see the terminology for this is the block fuel. That's 5,056 kilos. So I'm going to go into the system here and just tell the system. And this is something that you just do for the sim, obviously. 5056, that's the fuel we're going to have. There we go. And next thing we're gonna do, actually we're gonna round that up. That's the right procedure. Actually 556, so maybe do 5,200. There we go. And then we're gonna enter the IRS position. We're gonna go here. So we're gonna tell the airplane exactly where we are. So we take the GPS. Oops, I'm gonna do that here. That's the GPS position. We copy that in here. And that's set. All right, we are at the route. So this is where we can load the information. So we can get everything loaded from the flight plan I created earlier. So we fly from Copenhagen, EKCH Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. Put that in the origin. I will request the flight plan. There we go, that's the one I want. So it's been requested. There we go. We load it. Uplink loading. And I also gonna do my flight number, which is SK, Scandinavian Airlines, SK823. We're gonna go from runway 22 right. Here it is, and let's activate, execute, and there we are. So now we're gonna do the departure. We are gonna go out from, did we say 22R? And the standard instrument departure is Kima 4C. Pima 4C. Here we go. That's loaded, and now the arrival at Arlanda Airport. That's 19 right. And we're gonna go over Nilug or Nilu 2P. Nilu 2P. Nilu 2P. There we go. And transition ARL. There we go. So now we have loaded the whole route in here. So we're gonna check if there are any breaks in this that we need to address. This should be a continuous path. So just go through. They have a route discontinuity. So I'm gonna copy that and paste that over. That takes care of that. There we go. That should describe our whole route. So I'm gonna move this a little bit. We see the sun has come out now. Looks like the weather is very nice. So I can set this on plan, and we're gonna be able to walk through, step through the whole flight plan here. So we're coming out and we're turning around to go north into Sweden. Just checking that there's nothing looking too crazy here. Gonna do a little loop coming into the airport in Stockholm. Alright, so we're gonna go back to the programming here. We're gonna load some more information. This is weights and fuel details that we're loading into this screen here, and we request that as well from our flight plan that we've already created. And there we go. So we planned the fuel 5.2, so we're gonna stick that in there, 5.2. Transition altitude, we're gonna find that. We're gonna go over to the plan here. We're gonna load in our flight plan so we get the detailed view from SimBrief. Here we go. So that's our flight plan. So here we can look at the different parts of our flight plan in detail. So we can show the chart of where we are flying out. Oops, sorry for this going back and forth. So we're flying out this way and turning around and going up north. We're going to go up here and we're going to look for transition altitude. There it is, 5,000 feet. Sorry, I need to show you where I'm putting it. So 5,000 transition altitude. Here we go. We're also going to put in the cruise wind right here. Average wind 278.25. 278.25. All right, flipping back here so you can see what I'm doing here. So yeah, I put in the 278.25. I think I might need to execute before I put it in. Yeah, there you go. So I put in the cruise winds. So we have everything calculated here. The zero fuel weight. Let's move this a little bit. Zero fuel weight, as you see here on the load sheet, is 5,108. So that's a little bit higher here. So that's probably gonna be adjusted because we're gonna load our cargo and passengers into the system as well. All right, going back to and we're gonna have a cruising altitude of 39,000 feet, N1 limit. And here we calculate something here, which I use a tool for. Just calculates how much of the full power that you need. Basically, how much of the power that you need to take off. So we're gonna put in the airport here, EKCH Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel, and we're gonna put the runway. We are taking off from to right. Conditions are dry. I'm gonna look up the wind. I'm gonna pull that over here. So the wind is 260, Aerometric pressure is 1020. Take off weight 56891. Missed here was the outside air temperature, which is 11. See if that's all we need. Yes, it is. So the selected temp that we're looking for and that we're going to populate is this 70 Celsius. Go that way. And 70. And we put that in. Going to take off. We're going to have flaps 5 degrees. And center of gravity is calculated. Yeah, so here are the V1, VR, and V2 speed. So V1, that's when you have reached that speed, you need to continue. VR, that's when you rotate, that's when you take off with the airplane. And V2, that is the takeoff safety speed. That's the speed where the aircraft with basic safely climb with one engine that doesn't work. So with one engine you can safely climb at 134. Yeah, so that's that. What I haven't done yet is to load our payload. So we have 120 passengers today. They're going to be distributed over first class. So we have 8 in first class. That number is already in. So we put 112 in the economy. All right, so 120 altogether. We're going to do the cargo. We have the load sheet here. Cargo is 2994. So let's put 2000. Oops, that's too much. 2000 in forward, and we do the 994 in the rear. Let's go back here and set the trim 553. Here we go, 553. I think we can close the load sheet. All right, let's do the flow, the final flow for the overhead. So we put the yaw damper on. Navigation is normal and it's on auto. We are looking at the cross-feed valve. Fuel pumps, we have to put on the fuel pumps. Oop, oop, oop. Cross-feed valve, test that one. The solid light comes on, then it's a dim light. So that's all good. And then that comes off. Good. AC and DC monitors. Don't have to worry about that. Power to the galley is on. Electrical panel. Don't need to do anything. We need to put down the guard on the battery. Equipment cooling. It is normal. Emergency exit lights, they are already armed. Seat belt lights, going to put that on. It's time to put on the seat belts. Wipers are in park. Window heaters, put them on. Here we go, and probe heats should be off. Anti-ice off, there's no risk for ice. We put all the hydraulic pumps on. Recirculate fan is on auto. It's over there. Packs, these are the air conditioning packs, both on order. We're going to hear that the air conditioning starts a little bit in the background. Isolation valve, that should be open or auto. It's open. Engine bleeds are on. APU bleed. We're gonna start the. We start the APU right now. This is that extra little engine that sits in the tail of the aircraft that provides power when we're not connected to the ground power anymore until we turn on the engine. Okay. Now we're gonna enter the flight altitude. So that means this one here. So there's a limitation when we fly out. I'm gonna check out what that limitation is. I'm flipping over to the plan. So we're gonna see here that we are initial climb clearance is 7,000 feet. So and also we see that we can't go faster than 250 knots at or below 7,000. So 7,000. So we put that in here. Oops, 7,000. And let's then go up on the overhead again. Check pressurization mode auto. Confirmed. Lights position light steady. APU, we have now started that one, and we've seen that it's active here. We go back here to set the heading of the runway heading. Okay, so let's continue down our flow. Cleared level, we enter that. Flight director, this is first one on, and on the right side on. EFIS as desired, put that there, put back on the map mode. Oh, come on. And auto brake, put that in the RTO. MFD sys, checking here that we have pressure. Yeah, we can just as well check our flight yoke while we're at it. Rather, yeah, everything works. Parking brake, it's time to set that one right there. And config check, so we're going to advance the throttle and we're going to get a noise. Yeah. And start levers are off. Go down on the pedestal. All these are zeroed out. Radios are on. Transponder, set that one to off. And this should be on 1 rather than an aileron trim. We just saw that one, so that's 0. And let's do the safety inspection checklist. Surfaces and shocks have been checked. Maintenance check. Battery is on. Electric hydraulic pumps on. We checked that. Landing gear lever is down. And library is checked. So that's the safety inspection checklist complete. All right, so now we're gonna prepare for start. Going up on the overhead again. We're gonna put on the APU generators. Oops, there we go. So now the APU, the little jet engine that sits in the back, in the tail. Actually, we can show that. This one, that one, in the tail there, we see it's going. That's the one that's running. So now, when we have those generators on, we can disconnect the ground power. There we go. Oops. I did a little mistake there. All right, we're good. We're gonna close the door. We see we have one door open there. So let's go down and take care of that. Going to the menu, actions of ground services. We're gonna say that we, let's see, here we go. Stairs release, and we should see here on the outside that the door is closed, and now they are moving the stairs away. Go up and put on the APU bleed. And now we see downstairs here again. We're gonna look for the ground power, and that one can be released. So now that little cart is gonna roll away. All right, so we are now doing the before start checklist. So starting with that, IRS mode selectors. They're all the way up here. They are in nav. Gear pins, that's not anything that we do. That's what they do on the outside. Light test, we did that one. Oxygen, we test that one. Yaw damper. Oops, yaw damper. Oh, we missed that. Yaw damper should be on. There it is. It's on. Nav transfer and display switches, normal and auto. Fuel, we have the fuel. You can see that here actually we have 5.2 tons. Power is on. Emergency exit lights are armed. Fasten seat belts. Emergency exit lights are armed. Fasten seat belts. We can put the smoke into auto. Window heats are on. Air conditioning and packs are auto. Leads are on. Pressurization mode selector is auto. Instruments cross-check auto brake set to RTO. We did that a moment ago, right there, RTO. Hydraulics are set to normal. There we go. And also that check is actually to look on the display here. There we go. Hydraulics pressure 100%. Speed brake is in the down detent. Yeah. Spoilers down. Parking brake has been set. Lights on. Trim cut-up switches are normal. Wheel well fire warning. We checked that. Those were the lights down there. Radar radius is set. Standby rudder aileron trims are 0. Takeoff briefing. We have done that. And the trim has been set. And performance weight balance, we have fixed that. Flight deck windows, cockpit door. We should make sure that is locked. Cockpit door is auto. Stabilizer trim. And doors closed and passengers seated. All right. So we're going to get ready to start the engines here. So we're going to turn off the air conditioning packs while we do that. And the collision light is on to signal that we are actually powering up here. Parking brake, parking brake is set, and also the transponder is off. All right, so now we're going to do pushback. So I use this pushback little helper here. So we can pre-plan the pushback. And first, of course, I want to see where we're going. So we will go to 22R. So we're going to back out this way and then go alpha this way, and then we're going to alpha and then alpha 1. So I'm planning to go like this and let him set us up on the line here. This is pretty cool because then you can just let him do it. Start.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
So we see here pulling up the tug. We're gonna get towed into the pre-planned line that we gave him. So we see sun has come up here. Copenhagen Airport looks really nice. He's gonna lift the airplane and he's gonna ask us to...
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
There we go. He locks in on the aircraft.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
This is pretty cool. As long as we're outside of this line, we can go on and start the engines. So let's jump inside, go to the overhead. I'm going to start with engine 2. There we go, switch to engine start. And we're going to go down, oops, I had the wrong view. I want to view the engine. So when the N2 pressure here is up to 25, we can start and inject fuel. There we go. See the engine is starting to spin up. And when that has stabilized, we can start. This has stabilized, we can start the engine number 1. There we go.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Alright, starting the second one.
Ground. You may disconnect.
So once the engine is
Okay, sir.
started,
Then
this flips back to the auto position.
Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
This up to 25. There we go. So once these are up and stable, we can turn off the APU, which has provided the power until now. So let's turn off the APU. That work? There we go. APU. Then we turn on those generator. So now we can turn on the probe heat. Engine anti-ice, we don't need that. Packs, we put that back on auto to get some cooling. APU bleed is off. Isolation valve, set that one to auto. Let's set the flaps. Flap should be set to 5. The trim 5.53, elevated trim, stabilize, start levers on idle detent, yes. Flight controls, we checked them, recall checked MSFS engine, pressed blank power. Let's perform the before taxi checklist. Generators are on, that's what I did here. APU is off, start switch is set to C on cont. Probe heat, we turned that on. Air conditioning packs are on auto. Isolation valve is on auto. Flaps are set to 5. Yeah. Stabilized trim, we don't do anything with that. Start levers, idle detent. Flight controls checked, record checked. Alright, so let's get ready for taxi. Let's turn on the taxi lights. And let's do a config check. So when I set the throttles up. Okay, let's see, verify takeoff speeds. What's the warning here? Let's do that. Okay. Let's see what happens now. But we have this little warning on here. That is because the flight or the yaw damper is off again, which I don't understand why that turned off, because I know I turned it on. So you see now that warning is gone. Let's see if I can push the levers up without anything happening. Yeah, so I pulled the levers up and I didn't get any warning. So that means that we are ready to taxi. And I pulled up the levers, I didn't have the parking brake on, so that was my bad. That's why we started to move. So let's see if we can find our way to Alpha. Yeah, we are on Alpha. You can see that this was 30-12 and then it says Alpha in the black, and that means black means that we are on Alpha. And this is where we are holding for 22 right. We found it. Alright, we are lined up. Let's do the before takeoff checklist. Config checks, flaps. We have green light on the flaps. See that down there. Stabilizer trim. Takeoff briefing. Done that. Cabin secure. Transponder. On the transponder. And strobe lights on. All the way up. Okay, here we go. Strobe lights on. Landing lights on. Alright, we are at lineup, so we have landing lights on, position lights, we put on the runway, turn off lights on. Auto throttle, we should arm that one. We arm vertical navigation and horizontal navigation. Alright, so we are set to leave. Right, so we advance to we put the throttles on like 40%, but they're stable now, and we push.
Airspeed's alive. 80 knots. V1.
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Positive rate of climb. Landing gear up. Putting on the autopilot. Alright, good takeoff. Pretty steep climb out here. You see airport behind us. We can pick up the flaps. So now the airplane is navigating with the autopilot. We're gonna see this little banana here means where we're gonna hit our 7,000 altitude. And our speed restriction here is 250 as we saw in the briefing. Right now we're going south. Very nice weather for flying. You see here on the map the route we're following. Here we're going to do is a turn and then one more turn, and then we're heading up over key max for Charlie. So we're traveling up to Sweden. A little bit weather coming in here. We reached our transition altitude. We set the implemented to standard. And for anyone that actually knows how to do this, that watch this, be nice. I know I forgot a couple of things, but we got up in the air and we are heading to Stockholm. Doing the turn. And we're going to listen to a little bit of music. Alright, thank you for watching. I'm gonna check out. So thank you so much for flying, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.